Hello friends, welcome back to my channel MBBMohitSharma. Today I am going to talk about another important concept which is Gage R&R. Gage R&R means gauge repeatability and reproducibility. What is repeatability? Repeatability is the variation in the observations recorded by one person for the same unit with the same equipment. For example, my observation for this object on day 1 is that it is a calculator, and after 15 days I am saying this is a scientific calculator. So there is a variation in the observations. First I said it is a calculator, and now I am saying it is a scientific calculator. This is repeatability variation which we have to first identify using Gage R&R and then reduce. What is reproducibility? Reproducibility is the variation in the measurements done by two different individuals for the same unit with the same equipment. Suppose in the same example I am saying this is a calculator and the other person is saying this is a scientific calculator. So this variation is what we have to identify through Gage R&R, and then we have to reduce that variation. And this is called reproducibility. There is another concept which is called accuracy. For example, I am saying this is a calculator and the other person is also saying this is a calculator, but actually this is a scientific calculator. So we both may be reproducible and repeatable, but we are not accurate. So let's get started with the video.
Gage R&R. Gage R&R means gauge repeatability and reproducibility. Let us understand some critical aspects of measurement system. Accuracy. The difference between observed average measurement and a standard. Repeatability. Variation when one person repeatedly measures the same unit with the same measuring equipment. So repeatability is within the individual. Reproducibility. Variation when two or more people measure the same unit with the same measuring equipment. Reproducibility is between individuals. Stability. Variation obtained when the same person measures the same unit with the same equipment over an extended period of time. Means the person is able to measure the same in the morning, in the afternoon and in the evening. For example, our aim is to increase the accuracy percentage from 85% to 95%. For that, a black belt project is done. So the Gage R&R should not be done on the people who are processing the transaction. It should be done for the people who are measuring the accuracy of the transaction, which is the measurement system. Suppose we have a team who is measuring the accuracy in the morning and the evening shift. Sunil from morning shift is measuring the accuracy for the team, and Deepak from the evening shift is measuring the accuracy of the team. We need to check whether they both are calibrated or not. Customer is considered as standard. So we need to check repeatability and reproducibility between Sunil and Deepak and their accuracy with the standard. So let us give those 20 transactions which we have identified to Sunil first. Sunil has given his observation on the sheet, and then the same 20 transactions are given to Deepak, and then Deepak will give his observations. Then end customer results are considered as standard for those 20 transactions. After approximately 15 days, the same 20 transactions are given to Sunil again. He is giving his assessment on those 20 transactions, and then the same process is repeated for Deepak. So Deepak has also given his observations. Now let us look at various observations given by the operators as well as the standard. Rows where all the observations are similar are correct rows, and the rows where there is discrepancy between the operators as well as in the standard are incorrect transactions. If you look at row number 4, row number 12 and row number 17, there is a discrepancy in the results. If you look at the result, 3 transactions out of 20 are not matching. So the score for this Gage R&R comes out to be 17 divided by 20, which is 85%. To pass the gauge, the result should be 90% and above. So in this case, the gauge failed. Let us see how we can do that in Minitab. I have pasted the same data in Minitab. So I have 20 transactions on which I have observations from Sunil, Deepak and the standard. Go to Stat, go to Quality Tools, and in Quality Tools go to Attribute Agreement Analysis. Click on Attribute Agreement Analysis. You will have a screen like this. Here the data is in multiple columns. So we will select multiple columns here. So you need to be careful here. All the trials of Sunil should be entered together. So trial 1 of Sunil and trial 2 of Sunil should be together, and then trial 1 of Deepak and trial 2 of Deepak should be together. So Minitab will ask you for number of appraisers, so you need to mention 2 here, and total number of trials were also 2, so we will mention 2 here. If you want Minitab to display the names of the operators, then you need to mention their names, Sunil and Deepak. Now you have the standard available which will check the accuracy of the data. So you double click on standard. So standard will come here and click OK. There comes a session window which explains you about the repeatability and accuracy of the individuals. In Sunil's case, the repeatability is at 90%, and in Deepak's case, repeatability is at 100%, which means Sunil is able to repeat the result in 90% of his transactions and Deepak is able to repeat 100% of the results in both the trials. Then each appraiser versus standard. So if you look at Sunil was 90% accurate and Deepak was 95% accurate against the standard. So let us see what is the overall gauge. For that we will have to go to the session window. If I can lower this down and you start looking at these observations, this is the overall gauge, all appraiser versus standard, which is 20 inspected transactions, out of which 17 got matched and the result is 85%, which means our gauge is failed. Let us see where else we had the problem, whether the problem was with repeatability or reproducibility or accuracy. So if you look at this between appraisers, so only 17 transactions were matching. It means there is a problem in reproducibility. They were not able to reproduce each other. Now if you go further up, each appraiser versus standard. So Sunil's result was accurate in 18 transactions, so his accuracy is 90%, and Deepak's accuracy was 95%. Within appraiser means repeatability. So Sunil was able to repeat his result in 18 transactions, so his percentage was 90, but Deepak was able to repeat in all 20 transactions, so his result was 100%. If you look at the gauge result, repeatability and accuracy is fine, but they both are failing with the reproducibility. They were only able to reproduce the result in 85% of the transactions. Now we need to create an action plan and then do the Gage R&R again. Once the gauge passed, then only we should be able to do data collection. If we do not calibrate our measurement system, then incorrect data would be collected. That would lead to incorrect analysis and incorrect results.
So friends, this is a very significant tool which can be used across industries to identify and reduce measurement system variation. I hope this video has given you clarity on Gage R&R concept. Don't forget to drop in your comments and hit the like button. Thank you for watching my video. Friends, this is my first book which I have authored recently, 8 Steps to Problem Solving. So friends, this is a very handy book for all of you. I have covered almost all the topics of Lean Six Sigma here in a simple and concise way with easy examples.